Got some new equipment here to work on. This Honda tiller, I think the tines are locked up. The primer's not working. And yeah, it's bubbling there, but it's just not sucking fuel. What I'm gonna try and do is start this on some starter fluid and see if it runs, see what it does. So just prop you all up here. Wide open throttle. Tines aren't locked. That's gonna be a keeper. This will be pretty easy to deal with. Looks like our throttle isn't opening all the way. Yeah, it is. So let's figure out why this isn't priming. I'll probably just switch out the diaphragms in here. I think I have some. And we'll go from there. Give it an oil change and just sell this thing. Probably worth 200 bucks. Before I try anything too seriously, let's try and change this filter. This looks pretty plugged up. That's what I'm gonna put in. It looks like, you know, I don't have this size of gas line. So I'm gonna order or get that from the hardware store or something and just replace all these gas lines. I may also try and cut an air filter for this out of some air filter material that I've got. I gave it an oil change. Look at that. I don't even have to do that. Let's see, what's it at? That's good. That's perfect. I'm not even gonna worry about that. Wait, does it smell like gas? Yep, I'm changing it. This is old too. I think this is from like the early 2000s. But this will be a freaking killer. This will make me some money. I'm gonna go ahead and start on this because that way I can just go and get stuff for the Honda and get stuff for this too. This is a BR350. This was also $25. I'm gonna start by just taking all this crap off. It's missing the pull rope. We'll just pull that off. I wanna take this casing off. I don't know if this is 4MX or if this is like a regular 2-stroke or what, but I wanna see if it's got compression before I start messing with it. And if it doesn't, I wanna figure out why. I got this off, the clock spring's fine. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Check that out. This is gonna run. That's gonna run easy. I'm gonna get this stuff off here. Let's figure out about this. Huh? Well, no spark condition, wonder why. Look at that. Get that fixed up easy. That's no big deal. So this is just a regular 2-stroke. It's not a 4MX. It's a 2015. Let's check here. That's coil gap's good. Everything here's connected. This primer's messed up. I'm gonna try and not rebuild this car, but just adjust it. So what I'm gonna do is just take a flathead and pop these out. Then we'll get this primer bulb out, and that way I can go to the hardware store, get a new one. Looks like it just, those gas lines are toast too. I'll probably have to get some of those. Let's see here. I'm just gonna try and work those lines off with a flathead because I'd like to just not buy gas lines. Bingo, no new gas lines for this thing. Then I'm gonna have to probably bend this straight and shove it in here somehow or another, or it looks like it was stuck in this wire like that maybe. Maybe I could do something with that. I don't know. This shouldn't be too hard to fix. And then when I was talking about getting these off here, these are like adjustment caps that don't allow you to adjust the carburetor all the way. It's environmental stuff. So we'll just take a flathead and pop those out. It's real easy. That's professional. And fuck it, if it works, it's right. Right? Right. It's good. Now, you know, this, I'm not building a space shuttle here. This thing was $25. So you could say my techniques are ratty if you want, but I'm just trying to not spend any money on this crap. So we got the part we need here, primer. Figure I'll look in here, see if there's any screen in there. If there is, then I'll remove it, because that's how I do things around here. So I got my stuff ready to go to the hardware store, and I was out here messing with this. This one, you know, I just stopped by my buddy's house to trade off some mowers and work on some. You know, he's into mowers too. He just work on mowers, whatever. But he's pulled this out of my bed and started it. But it died out, it flooded itself out. So I thought, you know, it was lean. I thought it'd need a metering diaphragm. Well, I started up just now and it's just flooding itself out. So I banged out the air filter and it runs perfect. Idle set a little high and the throttle cable needs to be adjusted. But this thing's mint. And, you know, I'm gonna try and make a tube out of this, like make a tube for this out of a handheld I've got, you know, around back. And then I can sell this right away. Try and go ahead and sell it now. If nobody buys it, I'll just keep it till spring. But these are pretty good blowers. I'm just not a huge fan of these carburetors on them. They're non-adjustable. But overall, I mean, that thing was worth 25 bucks. It runs, you know. Well, that's not what I thought I had. I didn't realize it's bent like this. But I was gonna make a tube for it, you know, but with this, you know, I may like cut this right here and try and figure out a way to attach it to the RedMax. But this one here, this carburetor's going on my Stihl blower. But I'll figure something out with these tubes because I'm not spending $40 on a set of tubes for that RedMax. This thing though, that's not gonna run. Somebody put straight gas in there, it's got no compression. So we're just gonna part this out among the 3 of those things. This isn't really ideal, but it's okay. That'd be fine. You know, 2 male ends. That's okay. You know, some people say that that's not okay, but around here, Kyle's Drunken Projects, that's just fine. We'll do something like this, just tape this off or put a, you know, a hose clamp around it and then tape it off. And then I'm just gonna take and cut this end off because you can't have, you know, change around the ends on a blower like that. That'll make it rev too high and blow it up or something. So we'll just cut that off and do that. That'll be fine right there. I'm good with that. I put the fuel lines on that Honda and it's gonna need a diaphragm and that grommet that goes in the fuel tank. So we'll put that one on hold for tonight. We'll start on a Stihl. Full cords in, that's good. I spray a little bit of usually white lithium grease in here, but all I've got is this fluid film. So we're just gonna coat that clock spring with fluid film. That's how you turn it off. That's a good problem to have, not knowing how to turn it off. Dang, that's freaking sweet. All right then. Let me find the rest of these screws, put this back together, put this cap back on to hide this monstrosity, and we're good to go with this. This is for sale. I don't even have to tune the carburetor. How awesome is that? Just slap this primer bulb in. One of those freaking clips broke, but who cares? It's fine. I didn't even put gas in it either. I should probably take this gas out, put some good stuff in. That way I can store it if I have to, not worry about it. But yeah, that's freaking sweet there. You think I was gonna change this, but I'm not going to. All right, how does this go? I like when companies use these kind of air filters. They're, you don't have to replace them. Just bang them out like that. Friggin' sweet. All right, I'm gonna put this back together. Next step here, since I've dumped out the gas into a proper fuel recycling reservoir, let's fill it up with some of this. and try it out. All right, this runs pretty good, but I want to go ahead and adjust the carburetor, just get it in tip-top shape. So that's what we'll do here. Yeah, it was definitely on the lean side for the high side adjustment. The low side was pretty much fine, but it's good now. I just got to adjust the idle down, and it's kind of hard to get in there because of the freaking dirt that I didn't clean there. I don't even know what type of screwdriver I put in there. But I mean, I'm happy with this. This will sell. Just need to clean it up real good. Just a bit on the rich side, that's how I like it. Still's done. I'll probably try and pressure wash that tomorrow, get it real clean, and you know, then try and sell it. One thing too that I'm not loving with this is that this thing is supposed to turn, and it's just like it's too tight on there. So I might loosen that up just a bit. But besides that, this thing is great. It runs perfect. I want to get this RedMax dealt with, so I need to cut this here and just kind of attach that in there. Or even, I might just like take this end off. Here's what we got. Just gonna tape that. I don't have any Gorilla Tape or any decent tape, so we're just gonna load it up with this. Looks like we've got a hole somewhere around here. This still had a hole too. I'm gonna just do some more taping on that one too. We're not building a space shuttle here, just a $25 leaf blower. And even if we were building a space shuttle, I don't know, I watched that movie Apollo something or another where those astronauts were stuck up in space and they had to make that, whatever that oxygen thing out of tape in a box or whatever, and it was just as ratty as what I'm doing here. So if that'll work on that space shuttle, then it'll surely work on this leaf blower. The next thing is that this isn't opening all the way, so we're gonna adjust this, and then I'm gonna, you know, clean these up tomorrow and try and sell them. It might be a little too late to sell them, but you know, whatever, we'll see. Got that throttle cable adjusted in there. I cleaned up the plug just a bit in the wire wheel and put that back in and try this thing out. And if it works okay, then I'll switch the gas out for the ethanol free stuff and put it off to the side. It didn't stay on there too well. All right, let's give this a try. The kill switch on this is broken. That's another thing I may end up addressing with it. RedMax kill switches are always broken. I don't know what it is. Here's the wire to it. Yep, see? So I'll probably fix that before I sell it. It's usually pretty easy. That's just the one wire there's broken. So I had to kill it with the choke. Start it up. Yeah, that killing it with the choke's no good. making like a high-pitched whining sound and it's bogging out. I don't know what's causing that. Does it still have a screen in there? I don't know, we'll see. I think it's probably a bit lean. I may actually have to take this carburetor off after all. I'll deal with one problem at a time with this. The noise that it's making is coming from this, unsurprisingly. So it's whistling out of here. And you can't really tell why. So I don't know what these things are in here. Could be part of the problem. Looks like we've got some damage over here that could be causing it to make a whistling sound. That's annoying. I can't sell it like that. Let's take this apart and eliminate which section of this, or figure out which section of this is causing that. I found that this section here was like sticking inward, so I took the torch and just kind of heated it up a bit, and now it should not stick in like that. It should hold that position probably, and I'm just going to tape around it, kind of seal it off, I guess. It was just out of gas. This stuff's really fun for me, getting, you know, stuff cheap and free and kind of fixing it as cheaply as possible with maybe a few unorthodox methods. But really, as long as it works and as long as it's reliable, what does it matter? And you can really get creative with your methods on stuff like this, like lawnmowers, weed eaters, leaf blowers, you know, things like this that aren't, you know, a car going down the road at 80 miles an hour. And these will be reliable too. So it's a win for me because I got them cheap and I'll make a profit on them. It's a win for the person buying them from me because they get a really cheap commercial grade blower and it works just fine. And, you know, it's fun for me to fix these. I really enjoy doing the, you know, problem solving, figuring out what's wrong with them and fixing them. It's a cool feeling when, you know, I've got 38 bucks in this and a new one is $319 and this works just as well as a new one. But anyway, if you guys would like to see me, you know, get a tripod and actually film more of me, you know, working on them and not just kind of cutting in after I've done something, let me know, because I've been thinking about doing that. So I've got, you know, I'm always getting projects and I'm gonna keep making videos regularly. So that may be something I do. If you'd like to see me do that, you know, let me know and encourage me so I'll actually go out and buy a tripod, because if you could tell by my style of repairs on this type of stuff, I'm pretty dang cheap.